Hey now, Omnidogs and Omnikittens. Welcome to Omnidog's Vault. And today we are honored to have my old friend, one of my oldest friends. I think we date back to like 2017.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, this is, okay, I'm actually going to try and pronounce it for real. Joakim. How'd I do? I showed that it could be done. And it's good to have you back. It's been a while since we've talked.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, Super Laugh Hard wants to see if you can guess. Are you not an Anya fan?
I was just remembering. Okay, Anya. I know I've heard this artist before. What song am I thinking about? And then it was Only Time. So yeah, no, it wasn't Anya for that particular thumbnail. Keep on guessing.
But why did he say it's not Anya? Did you? Is that
no idea?
Oh, okay.
Because it would be too obvious, probably.
For those of you who are just joining, Joakim is from Sweden, and as his tag says, they're struggling life coach of Omnidog. He is my life coach to try and do less. Wait, do more with less.
A service title that I'm humbly have taken on. I don't think I ever said that I wanted to be. I just sort of became.
Yeah, you wait, why can't you see my shirt that well? I don't like that. I mean, I put on a really cool shirt today.
Nice, Grant Morrison.
Yeah, and there it is.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I just got it for Christmas. So yeah, you had it thrust upon you because you had so much good advice for me. Because I was trying to do too much, and I was trying to do too much, and you helped me dial it back and get my focus a little more narrowed on what to concentrate on. And it was good advice. And we talked through Facebook chat a lot throughout the year about things like that. And so it's really been it's been fun talking to you, because I know that you take your personal life. You also, I mean, you're not just coaching me. That's the approach you take at a young age, which I think is amazing. Trying to do more with less.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just taking from whatever my own struggles have been. I mean, I'm also trying to do a lot in such a small time, and I mean, it's difficult to forget once you established it into your life, and you forget how it was not knowing the stuff and the struggle and about learning it. So I wanted to give other people the knowledge. I mean, I read a ton of self-help books and everything. I had other YouTubers that I discovered that recommended all of these different books, and through that, I made some YouTube videos about it, implementing comic books into the thing, just so that's sort of a niche audience. I mean, comic book collectors that want to maybe have a more fine-tuned collection. I don't know how to say it. I mean,
curating your collection to I think you and I shared curating your collection to books you love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still do blind buys now and then, but they're on something that I still am very curious about to pick up. But then again, maybe I don't buy every book that I have that feeling of. I mean, Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil Omnibus coming up. I can't wait.
Yeah.
For example, that's a total blind buy because I have not read a single issue of his run, but like most Daredevil runs, I have not been disappointed. Therefore, keep it on going with it. And I'll always find myself a DC guy. I'm more sure about what to pick up there. So it's still fun to rediscover and with new titles now and then. But most of my books that I pick up now and then are actually what do you say? I mean, they come out in a different format. I prefer the omnibus format, so I already bought a lot of stories that I actually already have read.
In like
Upgrading, that's the word. I don't know why I had to go around that word.
That's okay. We have BJ, my buddy's here. And he's excited to hear
Nice.
her here. He says essentialism.
Yes.
Austin, thank you. Mike Allred and Joakim back to back, just as killing it. I also have. I'm gonna have to take a nap after this because I got batter days tonight with Taylor with Taylor Talks Comics at 8. So, but I will take a nap. I already told my wife. I got it.
You're like the. Sorry, I was going to say you're like the Leonardo da Vinci of comic books live streams. I think he had some sort of sleep schedule of like being awake 2 hours, then fall asleep 2 hours, then wake up again, back and forth. I think I heard something like that.
Oh well, mine's. I think
I did not question.
I'm just. I don't know how well I slept last night. I slept, enough, but I've also got this pain pump that's. Sticking medicine, strong medicine into my spine. So I'm going to send an email to my pain doctor and see if that could be it, because I am very sleepy, but I also, my adrenaline was way high last night when I was doing the interview with Mike Allred, and it took me a long time to come down from it because my brain was just releasing dopamine and whatever those essential fun chemicals are.
Yeah.
And I was actually like a natural high from that interview. And I said, I want this feeling to keep going. So I stayed up till like 1 o'clock when I finally just fell asleep. But it was such a fun feeling that I didn't want to give it up.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a side note, but who controls that? Do you control that by any device or your phone, or is that automatic dispensing into your spine?
It's just under my skin in my abdominal wall area. It was surgically implanted, and it clicks it in at timed intervals, micro doses of it.
Oh, okay. So it's timed. It's nothing that you spontaneously can control.
I used to be able to give myself extra doses, but I started getting tired of doing that 5 times a day, and I just said, let's just put the whole thing in, and I won't give myself. They were boluses, and I said, let's just not even deal with that anymore. But since it goes into the spine with oral opioids, you only get like about 10% of the medicine, and then it gets processed through your kidney and liver, which can be hard on them. And so this way, it just goes right to the source, my spinal column.
Okay.
Which is all my viewers could possibly have ever wanted to know about my. Sunny, always great to see you. Javier's here. My nephew's name, Ryan Bragg. Somehow there's another Ryan Bragg out there. Arya, always good to see you. Now, Fred, I had a question for you, if you don't mind. You're reading Star Wars: The High Republic, and you say it's awesome so far, and shoveling snow, so I'm guessing you must be Minnesota, New Hampshire, somewhere up there. Is Star Wars: The High Republic a good... I've had my eye on that omnibus, but I also have heard that you sort of need to know what has happened previously in the novels. Fred, did you just start with the High Republic and you're digging it? So if you could answer that question, thank you. I would appreciate it. And the super producer James is here. Labruski, William Lee, Terry from Australia. I like that I don't know where... Area, where are you? I like that I know where most of my viewers are from. That's fun. Mr. Tex. Max, what up, baby? Oh, eating broccoli. Good for you. Kaigon Jin. I got my Daredevil collection going strong, waiting to collect more Omnis and bridge the gap between Volume 2 and Miller. Oh, okay. So you're going way back on your Daredevil.
That's going to take some time, I think.
Yeah. The Omnibus is what Carrie's looking forward to. Yeah, and I'm tired. Rodimus on fire. Thank you, buddy. So what I'm getting is Jess is all doped up. I wish. All it does is take care of my pain. I wish I felt that euphoria that people report, and I don't. I never got that from those medicines. I'm kind of pissed. I never.
It's okay. We got books.
Right. Pity Mog, good to see you. Thanks, Omnidog, for your Kirby overview. I just received my Bronze Age Omnibus. She is big, and I can't wait to dive in. Nice. Whatever Panadol is, I'm sure I went way past it. Because I'm sure it's a pain med.
Yeah, I think we have something similar of a name.
Okay, maybe that's the overseas name of Norco or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Jess was having the most fun yesterday. It was lovely to watch live. I was fanboying all over the place. Ryan here, Chris, welcome. I have tried CBD oil and I have tried CBD gummies, and they have not worked. That's why I ended up with the pain pump. Thank you. Oh yeah, I sent you a book. Mary M, our coffee buddy. How are you? Marvel Babs here. Good to see you. Oh, Chris Original Recipe is answering my question. The first High Republic novel was written by Charles Soule, whose Darth Vader run is excellent. You were right about that, and it's very good. Haven't made it to the comics yet. Okie dokie. Here's Jake. What up, buddy? On my way to vacation. Vacation? Your life is a vacation. You barely work.
Does he do YouTube all the time now?
No, but he's got this incredibly sweet job where he does social media for this incredible audio equipment company that sells like the highest end equipment possible. And so he's social media manager. So I tease him that he's not, he's hardly working, but he's the one that I got my speakers and turntable from. And he did me a solid on the pricing. So I've always got to,
social media, that is the future workplace.
Well, yeah, he said that since he's taken over, their social media things have gone from like 800 views to 80,000 views. So he's pretty valuable to them.
Good on him.
Yeah. Fred's in Quebec. I am reading the first novel at the same time. Sure, there are links, but nothing necessary. Oh, it is just a fresh, fun, nice read. See, that's all I need, Joakim, to get pushed over the edge and buy it.
Oh, and the struggle keeps on going.
Judgment Omnibus. You do. You're talking about Axe Judgment Day. You need to read, I believe there are 3 Eternals trades that Kieran Gillen wrote. You need to read those, I have been told. And I'm not sure that the first one's even out. Let me check real quick. Okay, this is my bad typing. Okay. Eternals. Eternal Warrior. Eternals. Okay. History Written in Blood by Kieran Gillen. That looks like it's the first one. Collects Eternals, Thanos Rises, Eternals, Celestia, Eternals, The Heretic, and material from What If, 1977. That looks like the first one, and I know there's at least 2. So the answer to your question is you have to read at least those 2. Oh, it's dirty in your mind. Comics are dope. How dare you? Just had surgery on your shoulder. And I still don't know what that is, but I've heard from my friend in Wales, this seems to be the overseas version, I think, of Norco. let's get back to my new Fear Agent books are on the way. I am happy. And you have new books that you have gotten and
Yeah,
vinyl. You're now collecting vinyl?
yeah, yeah. And about the vinyl, I don't even have a record player yet, but I have
I wonder
checked
what
them
my life
out.
coach would say about that.
I mean, it's like buying all the books without being able to read, I guess.
No, that's true.
But I have checked out all the vinyl at my parents' house just because my father still has his record player and everything. So I checked that out
Oh,
just
good.
because, with all the different presses and everything and all the different conditions that they can come in, at least when you buy them secondhand.
Mm.
So I've checked them out so that they all sound good. So I kept them. And I'm just building a small library just because I like that little ritual routine you can have with just actually taking in a whole album and appreciating it, and at the same time discover some new songs that just isn't on the A track
Right.
or what you say. And yeah, once you get more time available, I mean, you can start to appreciate something else a little bit more.
I love that you're into vinyl, and which of course leads us to a random question from Earth's Geomancer. What's your favorite pizza topping there in Sweden? What do you like?
Fries.
Say it again.
Fries. French
French
fries.
fries?
On the pizza, yes.
Is that okay? Wait a sec. Is that how you get it from the restaurant, or do you dump fries
Yeah.
on it?
No, you can order that. You can order that straight from a pizzeria.
French fries. Well, Sweden knows where it's at. French fries and pizza are like the two greatest things in life. So
You can order it like you can order it like with the kebab and everything on it. So it's like a kebab plate with French fries. You can order that, or you can order that with that on the pizza. So,
okay, so the kebab plate is like lamb or pork or beef.
yeah, lamb, I think.
Lamb. Okay.
Usually, if it's the correct one. Traditionally, it's lamb, I think.
Right. Okay. Oh, has a wrench. Comics, I'll make you a mod if you want. You are my comic son. You have my comic adopted granddaughter. So yeah, I'll give you a wrench. Just a sec. I think I know how to do that live. Jake is if I could have somebody run my social media, which is I barely have a social media presence, then yeah, I would really appreciate it.
But I mean, you're so active on YouTube all the time. I
That
mean, that's a social media presence.
yeah, that's really where I'm the happiest, is doing these live streams and doing videos for people. I can't get into TikTok. I mean, if Jake wants to post TikToks for me, then fine. I can't get I can't get into that. Riley said the only way to have a following is consistently posting on TikTok. I don't consistently do anything right now except sleep, so I don't know what I couldn't possibly do TikTok.
I mean, as I said, if somebody else would do it for you, I mean, because out of all of these live streams that you do, you could probably make out 10 videos out of each every live stream. I mean, with some golden moments within each and every one.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Let me see if I can make comics are dope. Okay. Okay, I had to mute that. Max. Oh, Max has a wrench. Chris, where comics are dope. Okay. Add as a moderator. I'm going to make you a managing moderator. Boom. There it is. Anybody else want to be a mod? There we go. Oh, here's Kenny. Kenny's been active on Facebook. You've been pumping out the content on Facebook, Kenny. Labruski was able to get USM Omni 2 at an LCS, so now you can order 1 and 3.
Nice.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice. I love that run. I haven't finished it, but I love it.
You bought the deluxe editions, right?
Yeah.
I did that too.
Those were some of the hardest things to find. 7 and 11. I mean, back even in 2015, those were hard to find. And a good friend sent me 11 as a gift. So I can't. And 7, I ended up finding like 2 or 3 copies of 7 somehow. When I did that, I don't know if you were part of the Facebook community when in 2016 I did the Great Northwest. Yeah. I did find 3 copies of USM 7. So, and some of the other ones were hard to find too, like 8 and 9. Those weren't readily available. So
8 was
hard
the
for
final,
you?
The final one. Yeah, it took me years.
Yeah. So I don't want to get rid of them. As cool as the Omnis are, I can't.
I sold them all. I sold my first I think it was the second edition of the Volume 1 Omnibus. I sold that because I wanted the thinner Volume 1 reprint. And I sold all the deluxe editions a little too late because I think too many people, when I sell my books, it's always within Sweden. And I think the news of the Omnibus coming out actually had reached most of the collectors. So it's hard to sell off the books for a good price. So, but I got rid of them. I got some money back. And I mean, I got my preferred format. So even though it took me like 2 years or something like that to find Volume 8, I don't consider it a waste of time.
No.
I mean, if you would consider it a waste of time just getting it, whether you keep it or not, I think it was a waste of time anyways.
That's part of the fun of collecting, is the hunt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or the waiting, in my perspective right now. It's all pre-orders and just waiting.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I really loved the hunt for out-of-print stuff. And I still kind of do. I don't get around as much as I did, but boy, I loved finding out-of-print books. And
yeah, I mean, if I go back in the day, like, I mean, let's see, I've been collecting now for 10 or 11 years now, I think. And yeah, in the beginning, when you were still discovering new stories, I mean, it's the only reason why I can speak for myself, why I'm able to hold back so much for buying all these new books and the omnibus reprints and all, is because either I already have those books that are being reprinted, so I don't have to buy them, and otherwise it's just I think I have my essential stories. There's a lot of, like, for example, Captain America. There's a lot of great Captain America omnibus coming out right now with modern stories. I wouldn't necessarily myself go for the Silver Age or Golden Age.
I wouldn't recommend it.
but I still think that the Ed Brubaker ones, the 5 volumes of that, encapsulates the essential Captain America run for me, and I am just happy with having those. For an example.
Yeah. Those are things I'm happy to have in omnibus. Oversized hardcover is my preferred format, so I was really sad to see that Marvel's not going to do it anymore. But
is that a true thing? They're not going to do it anymore.
We're not going to get a Daredevil Volume 5 by Zdarsky. They are going to, let me see, finish out Fantastic Four by Slott and Jason Aaron's Avengers, and then that's it.
Okay, so
I'm pretty sure.
So if you want to finish Daredevil Chip Zdarsky in oversized pages, you have to buy the second omnibus.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
But one was the first book was a gift from Sonny, Super Laugh Hard, And I'm not going to give up a gift when it was a $150 book that he sent me for free. And I sent him a nice book as an exchange gift. And that helped us become really good friends, which I think is more valuable than anything, is all the friendships I've made online. Circling back, I'm just going to keep all my oversized hardcovers, including 4. I don't care that it double dips in Daredevil, but I'll get the second omnibus.
Yeah.
But I don't. Okay, in the chat, maybe you can tell me. I'm going to highlight something about Judgment Day. In the chat, you can tell me when I can read Devil's Reign. I think Devil's Reign is in the Daredevil event. Devil's Reign, I believe, is within the first 4 volumes.
So it should.
Actually, I could just pull this. No, it doesn't say. Daredevil 31 through 36 and Daredevil. Spoiler alert. Woman Without Fear 1 through 3. Oh, spoiler alert. This is on the cover. Sorry, guys. So I feel like Devil's Reign happened after Volume 4.
I'm gonna check my pre-order of Volume 1 of the Omnibus, see if Devil's Reign is collected in that.
While you're doing that, I'll say Comics Are Dope says Judgment Day very much ties into Gillen's Eternals run. Thank you. And Austin says, also the first arc from Immortal X-Men is helpful for Judgment. That also is that by Gillen also? Yeah, it is. So this is very much a Gillen event. So thank you, Austin and Comics Are Dope for that. And paracetamol is Tylenol.
Okay. I've heard of Tylenol, so okay.
What the hell good is Tylenol?
I take paracetamol and Ipren, which I think would be ibuprofen for my migraines and everything, so that works.
Yeah, I get it. But I mean, Tylenol, I need way more than Tylenol. I don't even want to tell you what's pumping into my system now. You'll all think I'm a drug addict, but I am not having any euphoria or anything.
Everybody's like, how are you sitting up?
Well, I do take a lot of gabapentin, which is a nerve medicine, because I think what I have is a nerve pain problem. I do take high doses of that, but that also doesn't affect me, like making me lightheaded or anything. Jaggernaut, thank you for the nice comment about the Allred interview. Not a DC guy, but got to get that Superman Space Age, buddy, because of your thoughts on it. Thanks, Jess. We'll give that a wait. Okay, wait. Get out of there. Get out. Okay, wait. Oh no, I know. Peace. It's peace. There we go.
Oh.
I think that was Mike Allred's favorite thing that Jake and I taught him how to do that on his Mac yesterday.
I didn't know that. What's the favorite?
Do you have a Mac?
No, I use a PC right now.
Okay. You're getting more stuff. Is this the Ultimate Universe? An alternate universe. This is a good question. Go ahead.
I was thinking about Reed Richards because, I mean, in the Ultimate Universe, he sort of goes on a different path.
Yeah. Do we have a council of Joakims?
Definitely not.
who are giving life lessons to the Council of Omnidogs.
It would be a very boring council, to be honest.
I don't know. I think you have good stuff to say. That's why I have you on the show. Kygon, that's a good question. I'm going to get to it in one sec. Yep, need to read Gillen's 2 trades. And if you want the Immortal, thank you, Rodimus. Salesman here's perking up someone who nerds a turntable, but he lives in Sweden. I think he's probably going to buy it locally. This is a good question for us both from Kygon Jin. First complete run, you 2 read all the way through collected. first complete run. Okay. The first one.
I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man wasn't finished. Bendis was still writing it when I was reading it.
Okay.
It wouldn't be impossible that it would be The Amazing Spider-Man by Stan Lee in its completion.
Oh, really?
I mean, all of his issues pretty much has been collected in the Omnibus format, right?
Oh yeah,
and I've read through all of those, so I think that's a given. That's an easy answer. But I don't know if it's actually the very first run. I mean, any indie series, the Lock and Key from the IDW collection, or something like that. I mean, that has been finished a long time. And Saga, I hope to finish reading someday.
Yeah, I've finished reading the first 3 of that, and I'm waiting patiently. Let's see, I read Lucifer in 2016, but I must have finished something before that in 2015.
I can't even remember how my collection looked like.
Same.
All those years ago.
That's so long ago, and like, what was I'm trying to even think what my first omnibus even was. For some reason, I think it might have been the original Fantastic Four 1, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm almost positive that I would say it would be Silver Age Flash, because that was my favorite comic book as a kid. And I'm sure I read all of that as soon as I got it. And well, no, that has pretty brand new trade dress on it.
It's actually possible that I read the complete Ed Brubaker Captain America run in its completion first. Because
okay.
I mean, the Stan Lee Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus were still being released pretty a lot of years in between volumes 2 and 3 there for a while.
I'll stick with Silver Age Flash. I think, because I feel like that I read the first book, and then as soon as the second and third came out, I burned through those.
And so, I mean, it's so fluent, that complete run. I mean, does it have to be several omnibuses? I mean, one omnibus could collect a complete run, and that would be it. But then again, memory.
Right. No, I have not got the Vinyl Monkeys or the Lunchbox yet. You're still supporting the artist, and there's an artist right there. So that's what he is saying. You are supporting the artist, unless you're
doing that by secondhand.
Yeah, secondhand. Then you're not, but you are being a fan, and that counts also. Superman Space Age is a great read. Thank you. Carbs on top of carbs. He's skinny, so it must not be a problem for him.
I need it.
Ultimate Carb Bomb sounds delicious. There's a pizza, now we're talking pizza, near me that does it with fries and mozzarella sticks. Wow.
Nice.
Squeak, that's his daughter, loves French fries and pizza. Never thought of combining them, though. I don't trust Sweden anymore after hearing this.
Oh, I could probably come up with something more controversial, but
yeah, I feel like maybe my friend Tony, who sent me this as a gift, it's French fries, by the way.
Nice.
I feel like maybe sometime last year he sent me information on all the interesting things that were available on Swedish pizza, and I was surprised at it. And I bet where you can find really interesting things on pizza is Japan, because they're not afraid to put anything on pizza or eat anything. So,
octopus or something like that. Tentacles.
Yeah, right.
But I would actually try that. I think it has a chicken sort of flavor.
it's a little too chewy for me.
Oh, probably is. Probably.
Oh, okay. I made how far behind am I? 122. Oh, not too bad.
That's a fun detail actually. Just being able to talk to you and get a response right away, not being like a lag of 30 minutes. You going through the
Oh, in the
comments.
chat. I know.
Yeah.
That was
This-
that was so great having Jake in the interview yesterday, because I knew there's no way I could get to chat questions, and Jake had good questions of his own, and he was able to moderate the chat for me. Because I I think this is how interviews always go. This is all how they all went during the pandemic, 2020 and 2021 for the minister and I. He would, like Greg Rucka and Ram V, Cy Spurrier, we were getting a lot of really cool people. And I will say the streak continues. Everybody I've interviewed has just been the nicest person that is so willing to talk. Now, Mike Allred did set the record at 3 hours. I had to cut it off because my computer was dying and his dinner was getting served. But the minister used to send me a sheet of questions, and Jake sent me a sheet of questions. I don't think I've ever gone to those questions. After you ask the guest your first question, then it just takes a life of its own. And we had a lot of good questions that Jake typed up. But Mike Allred was so full of interesting stories and everything that I didn't even look at it, except for the one my wife really wanted me to ask, and that's how do you two, wife and husband, get along so well while working with each other? Just had to watch your Mike Allred interview on replay this morning. That was great. Congratulations. Thank you, AS. MD, I am feeling better. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good to have you in the chat. Anyway, an Omnibus out of print, and I bought eBay by Grant Morris, then later got printed. That was my hunt to buy a few years ago. Oh, Pity Ma likes fresh garlic and pepperoni on thin, crispy crust. That sounds like what I like. I like the thin, crispy crust, and I like vegetables and pepperoni on mine. Although, okay, Devil's Reign will be in D.D. Zdarsky 2.
Awesome. Good.
Okay, so it may be a while. Okay, wait, but if I get the Devil's Reign Omnibus, which I am getting, I don't care. I heard the tie-ins were good.
Then you get the tie-ins.
Yeah, so I can read 1 through 4, and okay, I'll worry about it later. I'll figure it out. H Softpaws says, I tend to curate my collection by saying if I won't reread, then I'm selling it after I read it. So I'm only left with books I like. That is my philosophy, as
awesome.
taught to me by my life coach here. Only have books you love.
Or that will carry great value in the aftermarket. No.
I feel like if this paracetamol, since we're talking drugs, I feel like paracetamol must be an opioid of some sort. Hey Siri, what's paracetamol? Oh, it's a non-opioid. It's a non-opioid. Blah, blah. Common brand names include Tylenol. No, you guys don't know what's good. Just Tylenol. What?
Weak stuff.
Yeah, I left that way behind. And actually, I'm with Chris on this. Your channel was one of my first watches too, before I made my own channel.
Thank you.
I don't know the issue numbers, but Devil's Reign and Woman Without Fear is kind of parallel, and then the Red Fist saga caps the run. Okay. Space Monkey, hello. I set a goal for my collecting this year, getting every Swedish Blueberry album in near mint condition. Did not expect. Oh, you fulfilled the goal already? Wait, Blueberry album. You mean Blueberry by Moebius? Or is there a Swedish group called Blueberry? Near mint condition. I feel like you mean the Blueberry. Do you mean Blueberry the Western by Moebius? If so, you're lucky because they are way hard to find here in the States. Welcome, Captain. A few minutes late, I'm currently unboxing and sorting my latest hauls, so you guys are on the TV in the background, keeping me company. Fun! Unboxing and sorting latest hauls. Speaking of hauls, would you like us to show what you've hauled recently?
I mean, I didn't bring all the books. If you want to see all the books that I brought, you can check out my Instagram. Shameless plug. It's still Joakim Comics Center.
Oh, send me in Facebook. Why don't you send me the address and I'll make a link for it and put it in the description.
Oh, sure.
Because I need to put your YouTube channel in the description too.
I can leave a comment as well.
Okay.
After we're done or something like that. But I'll send you the info. There's no rush, I think. But yeah, so I recently received 2 boxes from a company that is not sponsored by this channel.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, organic price books. Don't forget my code, $2 off Omnidog. Big savings, 5% off shipping 4 or more books together. Omnidog Sit. That's organic price books. But go ahead and it's fine to tell us where you got it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, for some years back now, I think 3 years back, I started pre-ordering from Discount Comic Book Service just because it was in the middle of all this that everything was getting out of print and sold out the first day that it came out on the release date. So I wanted to avoid that. So started to invest in pre-ordering, really getting down to it, what I really want. So to make sure that the money goes towards that. So you basically lock in your money if you pay your order right away, but then at least the book is secured. And for me, that is a higher priority than saving some money. Because, yeah, I guess
one thing I noticed is for someone your age, you're very financially conscious, which I think is a great thing. I think a lot, my daughter certainly isn't financially conscious, but, and I feel like you might be her age. You are very financially aware, which I think it's incredibly important for you to do that.
Yeah, I was born in 92, so I actually think I'm close to her age.
Yeah, you are.
And let's see here. I mean, when it comes to the financial stuff and everything, I mean, I think every country suffers from this, whether it's on purpose or not. But I mean, you are not taught how to do household economics within school. That's something that should be in homeschool ed class or something like that, or in regular math class. Why aren't the problems like problems that you would actually occur in real life? At least when you get older, you should get to educate yourself on that sort of problems that you'll get with, like how much rent, how much food, how much will go to that, this and that. I lack some of the words that I need to talk about this in English. But I mean, I bought 1 or 2 books. I bought the first book that I read on financial was I Will Teach You to Be Rich. It's a title that you just have to get by, because beyond that cover, it actually does help you to pick up the things that you need to secure yourself financially. And of course, it is guided towards an American market more so. But I mean, there are similarities within each and every country. I mean, you use credits in a different way than we do in Sweden, and credit scores and all of that. We don't really have that system. Or at least it's not as preferable in Sweden as it is in the US. But of course, we have other standards as well, or systems. And the second book was The Total Money Makeover, Dave Ramsey. I think you've heard of.
Mm-hmm.
But I really preferred the I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Maybe because it was my first read into it, but I think I preferred it as well. I sold the Dave Ramsey one to another person that will educate themselves for a cheaper price and hopefully learn something from that.
Okay, and what did you get from DCBS?
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine.
Big,
that's fine. No, I was the one that brought it up. I wanted to hear what you had to say.
Big side point. Okay, I'll show you the first book. This one that I'm reading right now. So I'm in the middle of reading The Green Lantern Corps by Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you have this one yet? I think you do.
I had I had all the trades, and so I had them custom bound.
Oh, nice. So you were way before everyone else.
Yeah, a little bit. And that was the first time I've ever had two Omnis open at the same time. I would read Jeff Johns' Green Lantern, and then the Green Lantern Corps would make the experience of Jeff Johns' Green Lantern even better because they were coming out at the same time, and sometimes they would bounce off of each other. And so I remember just sitting there going through, I think I have 5 volumes of Green Lantern Corps. That the DC books won't be that. I think it'll probably be 2, but I had trades. Maybe I have 4. But yeah, I would be reading that alongside Jeff Johns' book, and that was such a great reading experience. I'm so glad they finally put out Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, I mean, Green Lantern by Jeff Johns is, of course, it's very essential. I'll stand by that purchase on anyone.
Yeah.
If you're struggling economically, I'm sure we can find a way. No, but I really like it. I've read the Jeff Johns run 2 times in its completion, and I dabbled with some trade paperbacks on Blackest Night and some earlier ones in the beginning when I was collecting, and it was before, I mean, you got a decent job and before you really dived into the Omnibus collection. So I was very curious. Some of the issues have, of course, been collected within the Green Lantern Omnibus by Jeff Johns.
Okay.
Because as you said, it broadens the horizons on some of the events. Like I saw the table of contents within this volume, and it seems like there will be some crossovers with the Sinestro Corps War and Blackest Night.
Mm-hmm. How far into that book are you?
Not as much as I would like to show you, but okay. I think this is about 1/4 of the book's content, because it's not that much of extra table content within this one. Yeah, pretty much nothing. That's the extra table of content.
So that's a pretty thick read.
Yeah, and I try to motivate myself using Goodreads and everything like that, just to see some progress of a percentage of how much of the book you've read. And I set my goal, for me, really low this year, because last year I set my goal on reading 120 books. And I was starting my own business, as I've told you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into that maybe. And I read about 60 books last year, and not really all because of working, but also because I discovered Dune by Frank Herbert.
Oh, you got sucked into the prose universe.
Yeah, I bought the first trilogy actually for my girlfriend. She hasn't dived into it yet. She loved the 2021 movie release of it, and I wanted to dive into it more and read the 3 prose novels collected in that first book. and it took me like 2 months or something like that, but it was still good time,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But it's sucked up a lot of time that I could have put towards reading more books that year. So, but still, I mean, Goodreads goals. What's going to happen if you fail? Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
so
I've never reached my Goodreads goals. It's really more of a list so I can know what I've read.
I set the goal like, because I know that my collection is like 340 books right now, if only counting comic books, not
Mhm.
prose novels or anything else. And I was like, okay, I'll divide this by like 4. So if I could read all of these books again within 4 years, I'd be happy
Mm.
if I could do that for the books. I know it sounds crazy. It's like the books owned me like that, but I just, each and every time you read a book, you cut the price down for. I mean, if you only read a book for $150 once, that book cost you $150. If you read it twice, 75. Once again, I mean, you cut the price down for each and every time you use it, I think.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
I mean, if you bought a car and then only drove it once,
Well, that's fair.
so it gets more worth of your use each time you use it.
Okay, that's a good analogy.
I just thought it up. But you get my reasoning around it.
Oh yeah, sure.
So, and if you're not gonna drive it, if you're not gonna read it, I mean, sell it.
Yeah.
It's a different market talking about cars, but
No, but I get it.
yeah. I think a book can keep a value better than a car, probably,
Oh
depending
yeah,
on the
I
car.
agree with that.
Okay, another DC book. This was a recent reread. I read this in one day because it's so good. It's
Oh,
Batman Under the Red Hood, the deluxe edition.
I got that, and that's what I want to read that soon. So you loved it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I've read this in its completion 2 times now, with this counting. And of course, I've seen the animated movie adaptation several times. And even though some events are flipped around, they sort of cut it in a different segment just because it works better as a movie. It still reads totally fine. And I mean, when you have an animated move to lean yourself back on how the dialogue should sound and the rhythm of each sentence, I think that enhances the story. That's how I got a deeper impression, deeper understanding and impression for The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, okay. I haven't.
Because
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen either of those.
they're actually one of the better animated adaptations, I would say, of the DC works. So the first time I actually read The Dark Knight Returns, I didn't understand it. I was like barely 1 year into comics. I thought this Batman is old, he's grumpy, and I didn't understand him. But that's because I hadn't read as much Batman material as I should have, probably, to appreciate the work.
Mm-hmm.
Even though what people say, read Year One, read The Dark Knight Returns, I don't think that you would appreciate it as much as you would as if you actually had some of the other material. Dive into Batman by Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb. I mean, get introduced to all of these characters that you used to see in the animated universe or something like that. And then go from there. Or Grant Morrison's run, even, I would say. Maybe that's a little too deep because Morrison went with a sort of linear universe with his Batman. But then again, he has a rich history within his run, as well as Chip Zdarsky. I mean, I would love to recommend Chip Zdarsky to any new Batman reader, but then again, you would get a deeper appreciation of him if you read some older work. Scott Snyder is probably the easiest one to get into, but then again, that's a rebooted or soft rebooted Batman.
Right.
But yeah, Loved it.
That's great. That makes me want to read it even more. Let's see. Fred says, need both your advice to calm my excitation to buy Superman Unchained Deluxe from Snyder and Jim Lee. What should I do? We might have two different answers on this because
You go first.
not everybody I will say it this way. Not everybody enjoyed Superman Unchained as much as I did. I really enjoyed it, but that's a book that seems to be every person seems to have a different take on it. They related to it differently. That's a book that I've read 3 or 4 times, so that book's free for me, by Joakim Math. So it's a book that I really did like a lot, and but other people didn't care for it as much as I did.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I've had the deluxe edition, the first printing, when it came out. I was still buying single issues when this run was coming out.
Same with me.
And it was, I mean, as with a lot of books, it's a book that sells just because of their names. I think a lot of people would dive into as soon as you hear Jim Lee.
Yeah.
A lot of people dives into that no matter what it is. And the same as with the popularity of Scott Snyder by the time. And I mean, it's a decent Superman story. You could probably replace him with another superhero with the same powers and everything, because it's not so heavily leaned on Superman. I think the story is more about the villain.
Mm-hmm.
So by that, I think it's more dependent on that. But then again, it's nice Superman artwork and everything. I sold that book on the particular reason that I leaned it on, would I rather read this Superman story or that? Because I just tried to cut down. So it's not necessarily that I'm saying it's a bad story. It's a fine story, a 9-issue story. It's a one and done.
Rahul just needs pineapple on his pizza. Okay. Ahoy. Oh, there's Bunk, my buddy. Ahoy. Well, nice to see you on a stream again. Kenny. Yes, you need to get Superman Space Age. Yes, you need to get World's Finest. And yes, you need to get Flash. You are correct. Those are all 3 great books. And World's Finest is ongoing and so fun. Okay, Bunk. Sure. Thanks. Oh, here's Omni Nation. What up, buddy? Good to see you.
What's up, Day?
Good to see you. Devil's Reign is between OHC4 because women Without Fear is definitely parallel to Reign, and Reign should be read first unless you move back and forth between issues. Woman Without Fear spoils Devil's Reign. Thank you. Okay. So
that's a trick with tie-ins.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. Books bring Rodimus Prime Rib joy. Like Pokemon, he has to catch them all. Jess, I have the official Marvel reading order for Devil's Reign, which is different to the Omnibus mapping. I will send it your way. Okay, great. Thank you. And yes, we have now found out that it's just Tylenol. Yeah. What?
That's the biggest thing that people will take out of the stream.
Yeah, that you guys aren't getting the good stuff at all. And here, James nicely puts up, and I will make sure I already have a bit.ly created for you, so I'll make sure I put that in the I'll put that in my description. And it's not the Western comic. So what is blueberry then?
I have no idea. I was drawing a blank on that.
Yeah, it's Swedish blueberry. And this is your IG. Labruski, you need to know me for at least a couple years before you can be a mod. So we'll work on that.
I mean, I can send you a lot of links. I mean, I'll send you my website. I'll send you.
I have I must have that stuff in my Bitly already, but you can send it to me.
This is just for you, just for you.
I went to see Laurie Anderson in concert with a Lithuanian exchange student. I saw her back in 1982 as a personal side. Had a headache. So are you saying Laurie Anderson gave you a European pain pill or the Lithuanian exchange student? She said it was for headaches. I was completely knocked out. I really want it to be Laurie Anderson that gave you the pill, but I think it was the Lithuanian exchange student. Jess already finished Fear Agent Volume 1, starting 2. Been loving it. Awesome. Okay, wait. No, the Moebius Western comic. 17 okay. Albums. Triple dipping with this lot. That was probably on your financial advice. Flexeril, I take that also. But I take it at night because, yeah, it does make you sleepy. I'll teach you how to be rich. Should be NFL dude, welcome. Should be a mandatory high school book. Great book.
Yeah,
that's good. That's really good. Read Swedish. You could also get the 2 Jim Cutlass albums. When you're saying albums, is that books? Well, you're saying read Swedish, so they must be books. Jim Cutlass books by those 2 people. I'm not even going to try. Jean Giraud and Jean... forget it.
It sounds French when you say it like that.
It does, yeah. Nick is here. Welcome. Not a huge Green Lantern fan, but Jeff Johns is great. I have all the Omnis, even Brightest Day. Dune is my favorite book. Dune Trilogy is such a gem. Oh, but we're off on a Dune tangent here. Dune is fantastic.
I love it.
Under the Red Hood. Fantastic idea. Catching up with Joakim. Thank you. Good to see you, Reap. There are 2 more out. Okay, now we're in a rabbit hole of books that I don't even know what we're talking about. Lash, where are you from? Reap says, which artist and writer would you like to take over Detective Comics since Ram V is wrapping up his story soon? Reap's
I haven't read it since Tinian went off the title with Rebirth. Because I think now it's couldn't possibly top this. So I'm done.
I have my writer, and I will pick my artist, but it's in the other room. So I will say I would like Kelly Thompson to try it with whoever the artist was that I like so much from the Poison Ivy book. Well, that might not be a hard enough, dark enough run. I'm sorry, hard. That might be a little light. That's more of like a Harley Quinn Poison Ivy story. Since he seems to be able to draw everything at once, I'll say Dan Mora. So Kelly Thompson and Dan Mora. Uh-oh. That sounds... Is everything okay?
Everything is actually okay. A little mishap happened.
Okay.
I was charging my computer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Paul Dini is great. Well, it's a personal taste thing, Lash. No worries. GL Core is fantastic. There are stories in there I forgot Tomasi wrote. My memory had it as part of John's run. Ah. Batman Gotham After Midnight is another awesome read. Okay, Labruski. Yes, this seems to be a point of confusion here in the chat about Swedish Blueberry. There are such poetic parts of Space Age, so beautifully written that I sent it to my family. Awesome, Chris. I agree with that. Everything you just said. Okay, we got you back. There we are.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Do you mind sharing where you are in Sweden, or would you rather not?
Oh, I mean, you wouldn't find it on the map anyways, but it's not Stockholm. I mean, I live like, let's see, 4 hours away from Stockholm, maybe. It's right in the middle of the country, a little to the right.
Go to Stockholm and take a right.
One more time.
Go to Stockholm and then take a right.
No, 3 hours south of Stockholm.
Oh, south. Okay. Snyder's Batman was one of the first runs I read. Nightfall as well. Omnidog took your recommendation for Slot Silver Surfer and loved it. Yes. I love hearing that. There we go. Oh, should have confetti for 2. Jean Giraud is Mobius' real name. Okay. Albums are what Europeans call single issues, usually bigger in page size and page number. Okay, good. Thank you for that. The Student. I barely remember Laurie Anderson as I was knocked out. Must have helped your headache, though, too. Oh, formerly known as the Norwegian Lars. Okay. Thank you.
Oh.
Now, okay. Old fan of the show. For context, the Marvel graphic novel line was done in the European album size format. Death of Captain Marvel. Okay. Mr. Riley is happy to see you.
Nice.
Mr. Riley.
He shows up a lot on my Instagram, so.
Oh, good. Album is the European format for a lot of comics, a bit like Catwoman, Lonely City in size. Ah, got it. Yeah, right? Wouldn't that be a good Detective Comics? I love Kelly Thompson, and Dan Morris seems to be able to write illustrate 3 or 4 books at a time. It's crazy.
Damn.
How is your small business coming along?
Yeah, it's doing fine. I mean, let's see here. We haven't talked actually since right at the beginning, since I started my own business.
Yeah.
It was like 1 month into it. And I was just starting with my own photography and film editing service for bigger companies or thereof. And I mean, in the beginning, it's an uphill, still going up that hill, but with progress. And I think it took about 6 months until I got my first paid job, actually. And then again, I'm not in any secure position where I could live out of this business. But what I did was 1 year ago, I've been working at a convenience store in my hometown, and I went down from working 75% of a week to 50, just to, get some space out of a day, to get time for clients and everything. Because what's good with a convenience store is that you can work your hours and take a night shift or an evenings shift, and then during the day you can meet up with clients and everything, if you would double book or something like that. And it also, I mean, coexists, of course, with me trying to push down all of the expenses, like not buying as many books or movies and something like that, and just trying to not go too fast,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm afraid that I might burn out or that I'll stress out. Because if I would just quit my job, the job that it's actually paying the bills, and then
Yeah.
go 100% on, okay, it's do or die now. We have to get in money now, and I have to get clients. I think that stress would kill me, and I
Yeah.
think that stress has killed a lot of potential companies out there. Because I mean, there's so many companies out there that are just driven by one person. And a lot of people told me, when I told them that I'm actually doing this as a side job right now, that they wish that they would have done that too.
Ah.
So there's these two guys that actually did this 10 years before me from my same hometown, that were going into the comedic business and everything with YouTube and everything, and funny clips and like that. They went all out, but I mean, if you don't get the following that you need, it's hard to stay afloat for a full return of your process, I guess.
So you're still you still have 50%
Yeah.
of your time at the store, and then the rest of your time you're devoting to your business.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, however much time that I want to devote to it, I feel free to do. Of course, I still do other stuff, and I think it's just healthy just to actually give yourself some time off. Also, you could be called lazy for that, but I mean, mentally, I feel fine.
Yeah.
Of course, there's some downside to it. I don't bring in as much money, but then again, my expenses aren't craving a lot. I'm still paying all of my bills. I still put away like 30% into savings or
Nice.
investments. I mean, that is what you should. It's the 50-30-20 rule. I mean, 50% goes to rents and essentials, 30% to or 20% into investments, and 30% for having fun money.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, the fun money is dependent on that you take care of the other two first.
Right. So do you are you just looking out short term, or is this something you'd eventually like to be your main job? Is that the goal?
I would like to be,
Mm-hmm.
but if it should be, I should take my time in getting my customers, and then get those customers to come back and actually build up that process. It's a lot different when you work in a convenience store. I mean, you get in and out customers all the time, right? So it's a really short relationship. What I like about my other job is that you actually get to build a longer relationship during the work in progress, and actually give them something of value back, that I feel. I mean, for my own, I mean, you get humbled to actually be able to help someone, and then you get to, of course, you get paid for the service that you do. And I mean, that's a nice, fulfilling feeling.
Yeah.
And I like it. And
That helps your
there's
quality of life.
yeah. And right now, my perspective is that I would eventually would like to be my own boss. Then again, you'd work alone. You don't meet as much people, maybe. So maybe, I mean, for now, it works fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing basically a new job for a new customer every month. It's a little downtown time between summers and Christmas time, I noticed. Just because it's towards companies. I mean, they take vacation during the summer, and they do take the holidays off during winter. So then again, you have to start it up again and remind people that, hey, I'm here and I'm here to help. But if I've done it now twice within this year, I can do it once more.
Okay.
So that's where progress is right now. Just reminding people, sending out, meeting new companies to be able to advise my services to.
That sounds good. Yeah, Reap's proud of you. Nice. Lars says you also had a DC graphic novel line in the same format, Hunger Dogs. Wow, by Jack Kirby and Metalzoic by Pat Mills and Kevin O'Neill. I am not Hunger Dogs by Jack Kirby. I'm not familiar with that.
Me neither.
Doc Elevator's here. What up, Doc? Warren's here. Good to see you. Phantom Fool. I went to this vegan restaurant called Hermitage in Stockholm when I was there like 10 years ago. I hope it's still there, as it was amazing. I'm trying to think if I have anything new to show. I feel like I feel like I'm due some books from that company you mentioned that they didn't have in stock like 2 months ago, so they sent me a secondary shipment. But I don't and I have albums on pre-order, but I did get sent the new, it should be coming soon, the new Slift album, if you're familiar with Slift.
No. Sorry.
I just discovered them, but I think a lot of and when I discovered, they're brand new to me, but a lot of people in my Discord had already heard of them. They are a French band.
That explains it.
Yeah, I had just heard of them. Their music, I think I'd call their guitar is kind of psychedelic, but then their vocals are a little more challenging to listen to because it's kind of yelling. They're very upset about things, apparently. They have fortunately I can't understand what they're yelling about because I don't like anything political, but they're young and angry, and that's what I love in a rock band. And man, oh boy, some of the music they play is just gorgeous. And I don't mind the yelling vocals at all. It adds to the anger in it, but the music's beautiful. So Slift is the band that just got sent to me from Sub Pop. But I think I already put my new albums away that I just gotten.
I just Googled Slift, and the first pictures that comes up is like, it looks like an album cover of a Silver Surfer with a big ass sword.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
They're
Go
ahead.
Just because it's in black and white, I think it looks like Silver Surfer.
Yeah, that sounds right. They have an older album that's still in print, but kind of expensive. And I ordered this new album that I heard. Nobody even recommended it to me. I think I just clicked on it. It was the YouTube algorithm that sent it to me, and it was a live performance. And I was just like, whoa, these guys shred. Let me see. Do I have new albums to show? I can't show this one because this is a cool concept.
Let's see.
If you like Slift, then check out. Oh, I've heard of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards. Yeah, I have heard. Drove from.
That's a long ride. Gothenburg to Stockholm.
Sweden is beautiful.
A lot of the artists that I met that come here, or I think it was Tobin Bell, from Saw. Or I think maybe you haven't seen those movies.
From what?
The horror movies, Saw.
Oh, Saw. No, that's not my thing. I like horror, but that's a little different horror than I like. I'm more of a demon, occult, unseen ghost kind of horror guy.
Yeah, it's like torture porn or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Tobin Bell, I mean, as an actor, he was so kind, and like many of the actors that come over here for Comic-Con or sci-fi fair, he was very appreciated out of the Swedish nature and everything. And he liked that the plane just didn't land within a desert, he said. So
Oh.
I guess it took off from Vegas or something. I don't know.
Elon says okay, so that's where I heard I have recommended Slip the Omnidog. Look in the Harley notebook. Okay, just a sec. Let's see. Okay, there's books I'm supposed to get. Music. Mount Fuji Doom Jazz Corp. Books to get. Movies.
It's like that book that Captain America has in Winter Soldier with all the things that he's missed out in the last 50, 60 years.
Well, I don't doubt that Elon's recommended it to me. He and Cycle Cleveland turned me on to Idols, and they're a great band too. A fantastic band. So I don't doubt that Elon recommended it to me. Elon also says, I must say I enjoy Joakim's collecting philosophy videos.
Thank you. It's been hard to getting out new videos just because, I mean, I still do videos, but I do it for other people. And I mean, just trying to niche that angle of comic books and just being more essential on what you buy and everything. I have like one idea each and every month, but then I never do something with
it. My most recent album, this was I still have the original copy that I got when it came out. One of my favorite bands ever, Simple Minds, and this is New Gold Dream.
Nice.
And they recorded it in an abbey. They recorded it live in an abbey. And I listened to it, and it still has the original group with a couple of women in it. And one of the women does backing vocals that make it. Oh yeah, there's 3 women in it. Oh, I don't know if you can see this picture that well, but this is what it looks like in the abbey.
Yeah, nice. I can see it.
Yeah. Really, so the acoustics, I already listened to it online streaming, and it was gorgeous. And the woman's backing vocals, along with Jim Kerr's vocals, made it really remarkable. I just really dug it, so I had to get this. And of course, because I love colored vinyl, I got the. You can't really see the. I guess you can't. There you go. It's like.
Yeah. Nice. Colored vinyl. Is that more expensive than the regular just?
It can be, but sometimes it's not. I would say it depends on if it's an exclusive, like to Rough Trade, where I get a lot of music, or the other place in the US I get. Rough Trade also has a UK store, so I know they ship internationally. It can, sometimes it's like $4 more. It's not, but if it's a double album and it's double color, it could be a little bit more expensive, maybe $10 more expensive.
Oh, okay.
But that makes
not like twice.
Oh yeah, no.
Like that.
Yeah, that's what makes this kind of collecting more fun for me, is to get it on colored vinyl. And I don't get a lot of vinyl because I don't have a space for it anymore. And I sold most of my other stuff. I mean, I sold 5,000 records in my estate sale. Yeah.
Did that come with the house?
We had a pretty successful estate sale because, we sold my pinball machine and the jukebox, the soda fountain bar, the the we sold the television down there too. We sold the Art Deco furniture and the diner booth.
Man.
We even sold some of all the Art Deco knickknacks that I collected. Like I had a lighter collection that was really cool. And so and then people descended on the house for this vinyl, I guess. But I
Okay,
didn't.
let's
Sorry.
let's take away this struggling life coach. Like you haven't given up something with all those fine furniture. I
Oh,
mean,
oh yeah, we gave up my entire basement, and all I really have here is a small vinyl collection. But I have more room for books for some, So I try not to buy. I do set a budget, and I try not to buy more than my budget allows. But as I told my wife, I'm in kind of an odd position as a YouTuber that if I don't keep up with the new stuff, then I'm not going to be servicing my viewers well, because they look to me not only for reviews and live streams for this, but they like to see overviews and things. So now I do get sent books from OPB to overview, so that's good.
Yeah.
And I end up giving most of those away in giveaways. But I do have to kind of keep current. I have a bunch of Superman and Batman that I'm not current on, but I have to kind of have it. I mean, I kind of have to have it so I can keep current on it. But I'll tell you where it's a struggle for me to catch up. That's my reading goal for 2024 is in the first 3 months. I want to get caught up on Superman and Batman. And then once that's done, I'm going to devote the rest of the year to getting caught up on X-Men. And I'm going to have Peter M live on my show helping me organize my X-Men collection. That's going to be so fun.
So from spring on forward during the summer, all X-Men, basically. Starting
with I've already read Dawn of X. Starting with everything past X of Swords. That's as far as I've read. I read Dawn of X, Powers of X, House of X, whatever it is, and X of Swords. But then I've fallen, way behind, and I'm just gonna. And my other reading goal is to read more omnibuses this year because I have not. I mean, I love those books, but I just don't. I get too intimidated. The book you just showed, Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
Like 1,100 pages or whatever that is. Sometimes I get intimidated by them, but I need to get over that and start reading them.
Yeah, I go by it just I go by a list. On Goodreads or any paper or pen that you have, I usually write down just the order that I'm gonna read everything. So there's no in between. You're gonna read this book now. No matter the size, read it now. Otherwise, it's never going to be done. I usually read them also by a certain order. I recently read like all of my Batman books that I had. So it was Batman, The Hush Omnibus. So, I had that. Right after that, I was finished. Went to Batman Under the Red Hood. It's not a big jump between those. Those are pretty close. When it comes to the continuity and everything. Then a little bigger jump because we recently had the Batman and Robin Eternal Omnibus being released.
Right.
So that's a bigger jump in between timelines and everything. But still, it was new. It had plastic on it. Ripped it off. Went to it. And after that, I jumped into the second volume of the Chip Zdarsky Batman, Volume 2.
Okay. Did you enjoy Batman and Robin Eternal?
Yeah, of course. That's why I upgraded from the trade paperbacks and everything. And I think it's a good thing to have. If you appreciate the Tinian run on Detective Comics, it's a pretty good prequel for Orphan, Cassandra Cain, and Azrael as they show up in that.
I really enjoyed Batman and Robin Eternal. I think I like Batman Eternal, and that's another
Me
book
too.
some people are on the fence
Very,
about.
yeah.
But I liked it, and I remember collecting it. That was back when that was a New 52 book that I collected, because I collected a lot of singles with New 52, and I remember thinking, oh, another great Batman book. I really got into it, and I collected it in singles.
Me too.
And I really liked it, and I really liked Batman and Robin Eternal. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I was still also buying singles by that, and they had like 3 weekly titles out at once.
Yeah,
It was the Batman Eternal, Future's End, and Earth 2 title. Also, I think it was.
Yeah, Earth 2. I enjoyed Earth 2. I have those hardcovers, and I enjoyed Earth 2.
Yeah, I hope it gets an omnibus one day. I mean, with all the other random New 52 titles that has gotten it, I think it's bound to happen sometime. At some point.
Yeah, I have to question those first 2 New 52 books they released. Deathstroke, who asked for that? And Red Hood and the Outlaws, who asked for that? Those were probably the 2 least wanted omnis that they could have put out.
Of course, I admit I bought Red and then later on sold those omnis.
It's so weird about Scott Lobdell, because the Rebirth, Red Hood and the Outlaws, those first 3 trades, 3 or 4, when they had the Outlaws in it, I loved that book. That was a really well-written book. But then once the Outlaws leave and it's just Red Hood, not into it.
I would consider buying the first volume of that if they ever do release it.
Yeah, I would upgrade that.
Yeah. I had like 3 more books that I...
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, let's look at them.
But I'll be faster about this. Not all those tangents.
Yeah, well, okay, let's go books.
Okay, Ultimate Spider-Man. We all love this. If we read this, we love this. If we hate Bendis, we have a very big problem with this. But we love this. And I went with the symbiote variants, I think we should call it, because the first 2 volumes had Venom variants with it. But now with Carnage here, I mean, we should clearly call them symbiote variants, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I really like it. And can't really see it. It's Carnage. It's Carnage instead of Peter.
On the spine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's new. It's not often that the villain actually gets to take a spine place on the Omnibus. And this collects, of course, the final issues of the collaboration between Mark Bagley and Brian Michael Bendis, because then they changed the artists.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love the series even more every time I read it. So it's in plastic now, but it's a sure to be reread once Volume 4 has come out. Then I see that the collection is once again done with, I don't think, even though people speculate that there's going to be a Volume 5, in my mind, we already have Volume 5 with that certain event omnibus.
The one you don't want to spoil because it's called a certain thing, right?
Yeah.
Lou, I remember Lou from Omnibros said he did a review on that book and he caught major grief for spoiling it. And he said, it's in the title. Why are you getting mad at me?
If we're going to be that sensitive, I mean, I guess I'll have to be that.
Yeah, but I think it's funny to not spoil it. But I have the feeling, I don't have it on good authority, but I have a feeling that that's getting reprinted. That book will be the Volume 5.
Yeah. Oh, you think they'll print Volume 5, the number on it?
Oh, no, I think, I think that event is going to get reprinted and be the final volume.
Okay, yeah. Me also, because I mean, People are speculating that there's some Marvel Ultimates team-ups issues that haven't been collected. But I mean,
Oh.
how much material could that really be? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of Marvel Ultimates team-ups, but not every one of those are with. Oh, there I have it. Are every one of those with Spider-Man?
Ultimate Spider-Man Super Special Ultimate I haven't even read this. Ultimate Marvel.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, this is Ultimate Marvel Team Up. I got this back when I was collecting everything Ultimate in hardcover.
That's as thick as some Omnis, actually.
Oh yeah,
I mean, the Hawkeye Omnibus, something like that is.
This is bigger than Hawkeye, I think.
And the Peter Gillen Young Avengers.
Oh yeah, that's another skinny one.
Definitely.
This has Ultimate Marvel Team Up by Bendis 1 through 16 and Ultimate Spider-Man Super Special Volume 1. Ultimate Marvel Team Up. Is this all Spidey? Hulk and Spidey? There's an awful lot of Spidey in here, so I can see where they'd want to collect this. This is all Spidey. Ooh, look at this cover. I have never seen this cover.
Nice. Is that? Oh, that looks like. What is that artist that is getting that book?
David Mack?
Yeah.
David Mack? Let's see. Who is the cover artist? Letters, artwork. They're not telling me who the cover artist is, but I agree that it does look like him.
I'm fair. I am 95%. 95.
Okay, good. We'll take your opinion, and that is a boss cover. I've never seen this one.
Really like it.
Yeah, so this I can see why they said that, because this is all Spidey.
Okay.
So I can see
maybe
there may be what issue, that's volume 3, what issue does that go through?
I think it's 100 from issue number 72 up to 111, and then Spider-Man Annual 1 and 2 also.
Okay, because volume 12 is Ultimate Comics Spider-Man 1 through 14, which they must have rebooted. Okay, wait a sec. Okay, I think that's what I think the next omnibus would be then. My speculation is it would be volume 12 of Ultimate Spider-Man and this, and then you'd get the unnamed event.
I think volumes 10, 11, and 12 of the deluxe editions will all be, or I think I've seen this, will be compiled in volume 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say volume 3 ended in of Ultimate Spider-Man? What did it collect? What did it collect?
The deluxe editions 7, 8, and 9 is collected within the third one.
Okay, I think you're right.
So we have 12 deluxe editions, all going into 4 omnibus.
Yeah, but where's that leave this one?
I mean, that's it. It's like dangling on the side by the thread of its life, just wanting to be reprinted and collected in one of the omnibus.
Yeah, I'll have to ask Very Fine Condition about that and see if I'm allowed to talk about it publicly. Maybe he's already talked about it.
I think he did within a live stream, at least.
Okay.
They showed it briefly with April solicits, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. For Ultimate Volume 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like one commentary by Phantom Fool. Omnis feel like a bigger risk because of the time commitment involved. Yeah, but with bigger risk, there's also a bigger reward if you come out at the end of it.
Yeah.
I feel pretty certain that we'll get that volume 4 by now.
So, yeah, I think the question is, where do they stick that Ultimate Marvel team up?
Yeah, that's true.
I do have Hidden Years X-Men. I'm not getting the Omnibus because it took me so long to find those thick trades. So I'm just keeping that. Yes, here he is. Vinyl has always been cool. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, wait. I'm just happy you found and loved Slift, Omnidog. I'm sure it was because of you, Ilan. You've helped me find a lot of great music. I feel like the idea of selling off parts of my comic collection would almost be comparable to losing a limb. It's not easy. I've sold my comic collection off in 2 large batches, and it wasn't easy because when I got back into collecting singles, like back in 2008 through 2015, that was a lot of singles that I had, and I sold those off, and I made a decent chunk of change, and then I sold off what I didn't send to CGC. I sent off my whole entire Silver Age collection. I took out the key issues and sent them to CGC to help fund my health insurance, as everybody knows. But that, my friend that bought them from me, he said, "You don't look back. Do not regret this. Don't look back." And I was like, okay, all right. And so now I'm just patiently waiting for all the Metamorpho comics that I sold to be collected and things like that. But yeah, it's not easy selling off singles. For some reason, to me, it's easier to sell off these collections because I'll know they'll probably get reprinted.
Probably.
But the singles, yeah, it was hard. That's a great album. Thank you. Alive and Kicking is it? Okay, good. You have this too, Ilan. Nice. Wait, Alive and Kicking? That's not on this. That's on their most recent album. Or most recent. That was 12 years ago. Or whenever Alive and Kicking, I feel like that's not on this. But I love Alive and Kicking. Do they have another one that has a live version of Alive and Kicking? I feel like that was like their last album, the one that has Alive and Kicking. This is the one that has like New Gold Dream. So this is from 1984 ish, maybe 83, maybe 82. I'll
show another book.
Okay, good. Go for it.
Jason Aaron 4, Volume 2. Finally.
How thick is that one?
It's thick. It's bigger than the first volume.
Whoa.
So, I've never read this. I love to discover this. I loved Jason Aaron's Fantastic Four. I think I read those 2 omnibus volumes, in 3 days. It's so good. And the same with his Avengers. Oh, no, that's Jonathan Hickman. Sorry.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering. I thought, did I miss something?
I saw your face and I was thinking, maybe I'm wrong. It was something with J in the beginning. No, Jason Aaron. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you're in for a treat with Thor. I kept my hardcovers and I had to supplement those hardcovers with one trade paperback that was not included. But I read the first 3 hardcovers 7 years ago or something. And wow, it's the only Thor I've ever cared about to this point.
Good. That makes me feel better only owning this.
Oh, you are going to be very happy with this.
Good, because I want, just like with Captain America Brubaker, I want this to be my 4.
I think it will be. It's my
good.
Thor.
Good. Speaking of Jason Aaron, have you read or finished Scalped?
Yes.
I don't remember. Oh, good. Then we know the quality of Jason Aaron's work.
Yes. I did I did a read through with the Omni Bros. I feel like it was in the summer, and I had never read it, so I was excited to read that. And yeah,
And I bet you finished that off in 3 days also.
Yes, I did, because as soon as I got done with one, I wanted to read the next one.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, it's like 55 issues or something like that, and they read so quickly.
And it's so raw. It's amazing that DC printed that. It is, I mean, I know it's under the Vertigo title.
Oh, yeah.
But wow, it is just so raw and real and intense. For that, I think, was that the book that put him on the map, I guess?
Probably. I would assume so. I mean, that's one of the comics, like, I would like, I don't know if this is good or bad. I would like HBO kind of to adopt that to a live action series. At the same time, I don't, because maybe if they screw it up or something like that, because it's such a good story, but just so that more people actually can watch it and get the story, because not all people prefer the wonderful medium of comic books.
Yeah. That was, I did finally read Scalped, and that's one. I wonder if DC's afraid to put it out in omnibus. Those books are, I mean, 2 has been out of print since 2016 or something.
Yeah.
And
I'll never get rid of those until I have the actual omnibus beside me.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that, and I don't understand how it hasn't gotten an omnibus yet,
or a decent reprint. Or it's very rarely that they reprint deluxe, but they did release some paperbacks, I think,
or a compendium or something.
Yeah, they do that now.
Yeah, I think anything's better than nothing. People are not able to read. Anybody that's new to the hobby in the past few years hasn't been able to really read it. I mean, I guess you can obviously read it on the DC app, but which I love, but they haven't been able to read it in collected format, and that's really sad.
And I mean, priorities with different stories and writers, I guess, because, for example, Brian K. Vaughan's Why the Last Man, didn't we get 3 different formats within 3 years?
We got I got it in the deluxes. It was released in omnibus, and it was already in trades, and then they gave us absolutes. And I made a video saying, "What are you doing, DC?" That was back in 2018 or 19, and I said, "Here are a bunch of books you could reprint that you don't need." I mean, I know there was some TV series that I don't even think got
that explains it.
But I don't
probably.
Yeah, but I'm not even sure why The Last Man lasted a full season.
I never watched it. I wanted to keep that story as it is.
Yeah. But it makes me hopeful now that, they've put out something like Phantom Stranger, and they have a really, of course, a deep back catalog of Golden and Silver Age stuff they could put out, but then they have so much Superman material they could put out that they haven't been. I don't know. I really wish they would just start pumping out more content. Ilan, I wrote this down. All girl rock band. I love all girl rock bands. The Last Dinner Party. I'm checking them out.
In the third hour, we're gonna start showing the vinyls.
Actually, you better. I don't know that I have much more than 10 minutes left in me, so you should probably show those now.
I'll get to it. Final book.
Oh, good get. I just ordered that.
Very happy with the J. Jonah Jameson cover also, because how many times are we going to get J. Jonah Jameson on the cover of an omnibus? Probably never again. So I went with it.
Yeah.
I've read Spider-Man Life Story several times, and the annual also once. But all of these, the Spectacular Spider-Man and the Spider's Shadow miniseries.
Right.
I never read that, so I'm very curious about how that's going to work. And for those that didn't know, Spider-Man by Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah.
Omnibus.
Great book. I've read, I haven't read the Spectacular Spider-Man stuff, but I read those other two that you talked about.
Paperbacks were going for crazy money, so that was never going to happen. Oh, and now it went dark. Interesting.
What happened?
Oh, now I know. The batteries for my light went out.
Ah, okay. Oh,
So
here's Kate.
But you can still see me.
Yeah, we can still see you fine. Nick says that ultimate team-up has Spidey's fight with the lizard that is talked about in the Venom story at the end of Omnibus 1. Volume 5 won't have a lot of the issues that are in the don't spoil it.
Whoops.
Only the Ultimate Spider-Man issues will be double dipping me, thanks.
I'm gonna get another light.
Good evening from the Netherlands. Good to see you. Yeah, I don't want to put up the name of that last book because some people get mad when they find out the name of that last Ultimate Spidey book. So I mean, we were just speculating about it that we're not sure. Oh, yeah, it's live at the BBC in a cathedral during the pandemic. Freaking frick. Okay, wait, I'm writing that down, Ilan. So alive and kicking in a cathedral. Ooh. Live and kicking live. It sounds so intimate and personal, but the acoustics are amazing in the cathedral. Are you still eating broccoli, Max?
Okay, so I think you can still see me. The studio light just went out. I didn't have a cord. I had it on batteries. So yeah. Start off. You have not seen Stranger Things season 4 yet, haven't you?
No, but I had that album and I played the heck out of that album.
Yeah. So Kate Bush, Hounds of Love.
Oh, that is such a great album. Wow, good choice.
And of course, bought it because Running Up That Hill, mostly. But of course, I'd love to discover other songs as well.
Oh, the whole thing is great. This is
I believe you.
Her best. This was her at the peak of her superpowers. This was just so good.
I would really like to find an album that covers Wuthering Rains also. Wuthering Heights. That's another. Let's see here. So we just, it's good that I picked so many because we'll go fast anyways. I picked up this Flashdance.
Okay.
That's got the soundtrack. Soundtrack for that movie.
That's got some great pop hits on it.
Yeah. What a Feeling, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But my personal favorite would be Maniac.
Oh yeah, she's a maniac.
Thank you. No, I didn't have to.
To remind everybody.
Yeah. This I bought. This is more modern. I bought it because of the Batman movie. So we have Nirvana. Let's see here. Nevermind.
Classic.
And of course, we have Smells Like Teen Spirit. But of course, we all know that I bought this because something in the way.
That every track on that one rips too. That good choices so far.
Yeah. So actually, Nevermind was, or the Nirvana album was not secondhand. That actually I bought new, and it's still sealed.
Nice.
And then we have, basically every Pat Benatar album that I could find.
Oh, where did you get into Pat Benatar?
I mean, I don't know. Guitar Hero,
yeah.
for Xbox and PlayStation and all that. They had some hits from Pat Benatar with Heartbreaker.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Oh, she ruled the 80s. She was
Yeah.
extremely popular.
And I don't know. It's something I just prefer female vocalists on my vinyl
Sure.
because that's basically all we got here, except for Nirvana. And I'm the type of guy that, for me to sleep, I like to listen to music and then fall asleep to it because, I mean, my mind wanders everywhere. So it's good to have a fixed point and just listening to an album and fall asleep to that.
I do
I've
that
fallen
too.
good. And it's just good to have a focus point, and these albums are great for that.
Nice.
I've listened to them like every night for the past weeks.
That's great.
And one more, I think that's 4 Pat Benatar albums. And then I actually bought doubles, but Heartbreaker and In the Heat of the Night. I mean, if you know, you know.
Yeah, that album's nothing but hits.
The Shadows of the Night is in one of these, and I mean, yeah.
Gee,
But
Go ahead.
I have one more, and this is one I've been listening to this LP on YouTube because of a record player not existing in this home right now. But I've been listening to this record for every day ever since I found this album, and that's Warrior.
Oh, I loved that song, Warrior.
Yeah, and the rest of the album's pretty great too. I've maybe twice a day I listen to this album. The Warrior, Beat of a Heart, Only the Young. I think that's a cover actually. Tonight, Say What You Will. I mean, these songs goes over everybody's heads because the only song that ever's been on the radio is probably Warrior, but this whole album kicks all sorts of behind, and and I love it, and the makeup and everything, the cover of it. I really like this. I can see myself going deep into this, but of course, building up a small library, that would be nice to start off when you get a record player.
Yeah. I worked in a record store for a couple of years back in the early 80s, and that album came out. And whenever I would go in, I would start playing Warrior, and I think it was a single that I would just play. And my manager came out one day and said, "Who is it that keeps playing Warrior that much?" And I said, "Oh, sorry, it's me. I really love that song." And she was like, "It's okay. I just wondered who it was that loved that song so much." And I was like, "Yep, guilty right here." I think she's, if I'm not mistaken, I think she's married to John McEnroe.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. That good choices there. Good choices.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did. All-Star Western and Jonah Hex are 2 Omnis that I want to happen too.
Imagine they finally do release it, and then it's the New 52.
Well, New 52 was good.
Okay, I never read it.
Yeah,
but I think most people want the Silver Age, right?
Oh, I was actually talking about the Palmiotti stuff, which is All-Star was Jonah Hex, and then New 52 was All-Star Western, and it was Palmiotti. I would buy the old All-Star Western stuff, the silver, bronze. I think it's really Bronze Age, but I was thinking of the Palmiotti stuff. That's high quality stuff. Both of those runs, Jonah Hex and All-Star Western. I'm not giving up my trades ever for that. Those are things I've read 2 or 3 times so far. Actual LOL for the Maniac rendition. Thank you. And we have we have a discussion about broccoli in the chat. what is a series run that hasn't been announced or released you'd really like collecting your preferred format? You too, Jess. I just said All-Star Western and Jonah Hex. So what's something you'd like?
I mean, it was so long ago since I was current with what's coming out in singles and paperbacks. I mean, let's see here. Series that hasn't been announced or released, you really like. I mean, you can only get that want if you are current with what's in singles, right? I don't know. I want the Dan Slott Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
I want them to, of course, finish off Brand New Day. They barely started. They've announced the first volume, but then I want the big time, of course, which is when Dan Slott really took the wheel and drove it into Superior Spider-Man and on forth. I want all of that in Omnibus format one day.
Good choices. Yeah. Max says there's a question for Jess and anyone in the chat. Do you know the album Party Intellectuals by Ceramic Dog? If not, check it out. It's very fun and very punk. Okay, just a sec. Ceramic Dog. Where are they from, Max? Ceramic Dog. Party Intellectuals. Party Intellectuals. Now I can't listen to punk right before I go to bed. That's I listen to punk when I'm yes, I do organize things. When I'm organizing, I do constant shuffling and reshuffling of things here, and that's when I New York affiliate. I forget it's led by Mark Ribbo, who is a badass. Okay, cool. I put punk on all the time when I'm reorganizing books. That's what I can do. But when I go to sleep,
Nice.
it's more like Simple Minds and stuff like that. The same way you listen to Pat Benatar, I guess.
Yeah, I can have some heavier music on actually. Also, as long as you enjoy what you're listening to, and I mean, because you have people listening to like screamo and growling and all of that, and they find it relaxing. I mean, it's just a different preference, I guess. Whatever works for you.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was younger, I'm sure I could have listened to Bad Religion or something before bed and been fine.
Yeah.
But now I need something, just even if it's rock, just I can't be having
But it's almost like listening to the same album over and over again a couple of nights in a row. It's almost like hypnotic. You almost fall asleep at the same song each and every time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's interesting. I asked my wife about this and she had an answer how I can listen to this rock music, it kind of raucous rock music and still get sleepy. She had an answer because she had just read an article about it and I can't remember, but what she exactly said. I'll ask her. She's out to lunch right now, but I'll ask her. There is a part of the brain that gets comforted by familiar music, and that helps you get in the zone of sleep. I think she had a more scientific answer than that. I don't know which part of the brain it is,
but it still explains a lot.
Yeah.
I have one book that's called Why We Sleep, and the author in the beginning for text, he actually he preferred that if you get bored by this book or feel that you need to sleep in between, it's all fine. It's all natural. And of course, I haven't finished that book just because of
that. Lars says, in my opinion, this is not wrong. The greatest Kate Bush album is The Dreaming. Wuthering Heights is on the Kick Inside and a re-recorded version on The Whole Story. I had all three of those. I'm due for a re-listen to all three of those. The Dreaming is really brilliant. You're right, Lars.
I'll write that down.
Oh yeah, let me highlight it again.
The Dreaming, right?
Yeah, The Dreaming and then The Kick Inside.
Yep. For whenever you're going hunting for more.
Yeah, actually, I should listen to Kate Bush tonight while I go to sleep. That'd be perfect. Thank you, Lars and Joachim. I think I'm going to. That sounds perfect to listen to those. No, and I haven't seen Stranger Things Volume 4, but I'm glad it gave her a resurgence of popularity. She
Like the
deserves it.
biggest.
Yeah, she deserves it. I actually, since I have a stream tonight, I have to go rest, recuperate, and get my superpowers back. But it has been so great talking to you, and we've had a lot of viewers, and it's been steady the whole time. So you have been a very well received guest. The chat really digs you. The viewers, I know I have lurkers that don't post. Peace and love to the lurkers. But the amount of the amount of viewers has stayed the same, which means this has been interesting, and so I really appreciate your coming on. And we should check. Yeah, we need to check back in regularly, more like probably quarterly.
I would like to.
Whoops. Oh, and there's your YouTube.
Thank you.
And
I post videos. It happens.
And there's your Instagram, and Earth's Geomancer is pleased. Good. We aim to please. I love when Kate Bush got popular because of Stranger Things. People post things like, "I wish she was alive to see this."
Oh God!
I think she's my age, or maybe a couple years older. Here's a lurker. Right on, man, woman, dude, gal. Thank you, lurk. I love the lurkers. So tonight, if you'd like to, Warren, you asked what we'd like. I'm sorry I didn't get to ask. Well, I can ask him now. What's it collected? Because I'm going to answer it tonight in Batter Days in the Back Cave. We're going to talk about what collected editions we're looking forward to most in 2024. So what's the one book you're looking forward to most coming out?
Oh, probably Daredevil. Right now, I think Chip Zdarsky. Yeah.
By Zdarsky. Okay. Good choice.
We have a lot of great Spider-Man Omnibus that's going to be released as well. That's going to finish up the runs. I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man, Nick Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man. I don't know about that, but it's going to be finished off collected this year. And yeah, Mark Bagley is finally getting his Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus.
Who wrote that?
Oh, I don't know the writer.
Was that Michelini that wrote with him?
A couple of issues, yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it a Mark Bagley Spider-Man?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So it's going to have different. It's going to be his art with different writers.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So it's going to fill up a small gap between. I think it fits in right after the Roger Stern Spider-Man Omnibus.
Okay. Yeah,
we'll see about that.
Yeah. I hope we have announcements about the Dan Slott run too.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you to the chat. I appreciate everybody who's been here and has stayed this whole time. You guys are great. I always appreciate my audience, and I appreciate Joachim coming on the show. We'll check in quarterly from now on, and we'll both show hauls of books and vinyl and find out what we're sleeping to. And I will end this show by saying, please go to Organic Price Books, and I will play us out with my theme song. If you could, please hit the like button before you leave. Please hit the like button. Peace and love. Peace and love. You guys are great. Why? Come on, do it. What are you doing? What's happening here? There we go. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Bye, everyone.